All
Ah.
I'm saying, that ultrasound is not of a 2-week-old creature. That motherfucker's 2 weeks late for rent. He ain't 2 weeks old.
And welcome to today's episode.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Rolling in the Aisles, where yet again we are faced with the leftover foddery of Carl's Twitter feed.
Opens Twitter. What the fuck? Closes it.
See you again tomorrow, Carl.
At least today was TikTok.
Speaking of babies, I had just come across this on Twitter, which is somebody popping popcorn, taking a baby outfit, like a baby onesie, stuffing it full of popcorn and chips and candy and wine in baby bottles, and to bring it into a movie theater.
Okay, that's a grind.
That is dedication.
That's
really is.
That's
Okay,
Sigma
that is...
behavior.
Fuck around and find out. Number one got him.
Or I'm guessing that's what they were doing with it. I'm not really sure. I guess it's to take it into a movie theater.
God.
At least it's not a firearm. At least I hope not. Oh, it should be so lucky. Well, anyway, let's back in the grind set, folks. Back in the grind set.
Sorry,
take a moment.
I got transfixed
dispel
by that
everything.
tweet.
We're in a fancy realm where happiness can exist.
No such
Not
thing.
for long. It can. It won't. If anyone knows the reference that is in the title, they know it won't be happiness this session. However, welcome to episode 22 of Along the Aisles. Last in line goes Home Alone.
If you get the reference,
one of you gets it.
You get a cookie, I think. An imaginary internet cookie, but you know.
If you send that reference, you get some Chew Hoy.
There you go,
internet
right? More
cookie
accurately.
on the FBI's watch list.
Yes.
Yeah. If you end up getting called in by the FBI and you run to my ex, tell her, hello.
What was that, Mark?
I said I finished at least 4 minutes ago. I just forgot to say that I was finished.
Nice.
Because when I started eating, we was waiting for Carl and it, whatever, I'm here, let's go.
Mark chimes in, okay, now that you're done with the man-made horrors beyond our comprehension, and I'm done with my dinner. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, they were, well, who would like to recount the events of last week?
I will. Last time on Power Rangers Time Force, we arrived at the tavern and I started stealing food to put inside the bag of holding. We then all gathered around the table, and as Iris was constantly throwing bottles and beer mugs across the bar at people's heads, we gathered around the table to attempt the Zaratoire's celebration/ritual recipe. However, our merrymaking was interrupted by orcs, trolls, goblin war masters, and one basilisk. That, unfortunately, went kablooey. We are now dealing with the aftermath of Baz spitting in a troll's face to the point that he died from sugar salt grease fire, and 2 goblins that have just been hobokened by a living tree.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
Everyone's looking at Han a bit weird now. Which say Baz. Everyone's looking at Baz. Yeah.
As if they weren't already knowing he has one thing in his spine.
Yeah, everyone's looking. Okay, admittedly, yeah, everyone does know about his his condition. However, Baz.
Yeah.
I'll put this in football hooligan terms. Everyone's looking at you. You're like you're the guy who pulled a flare gun at a football riot and shot it in amongst the enemy team.
I shall take another swig of Stella Fatois.
Alternately, you're the guy who, in the middle of a bar brawl, smashed someone's head in with an ashtray, and everyone just kind of turned whoa, whoa, as they try to desperately drag you off the guy as you're trying to kick his skull in.
Well, got the job done. He says while sipping from his beer.
Everyone else is people crying in corners, The ogre looks a bit traumatized.
Neri is crying and kind of just holding just hands full of piles of destroyed basilisks.
It's just his flesh that you hold
Just
on
trying
to.
to put it back together.
Do you
As
think
Almond was-
mending could
as
help?
As Almond would have said, "Shall the last drink."
There's a bit of an echo. Am I the only one getting that? For everybody.
On my end, let me move back a little bit.
Okie dokie.
The end of Burns that Aiden picks up on my mic, and then both of us pick up on Hans.
So there's gonna be like an extra double, triple plus echo.
This is now a vaporwave channel. But
My
as everything as like the dust begins to settle, Sir Evergreen looks up, that usual kind of dumbfounded look on his face, and just kind of throws up a nice easy thumbs up as he wades through the gore back into the building.
Aris will retreat her spear. It's like a bit confused. Will swish off any blood that is on it as well.
Sparrow's gonna lean back against the. It's gonna try and crawl back in through the window.
What I'm going to call the ghostly duo are going to jump outside of Iris, and because they have performed lemon influence on her, start walking her to the storeroom as they float towards the. I wouldn't say he's extremely harmed, but probably still shell-shocked and wounded orc, and tell him, "Good job. We're gonna start feeding you now."
Thanks, I guess. It's all a bit grim. Ugh.
Yeah, that troll business was I don't. I honestly didn't know he could do that.
It's a little concerning.
Meanwhile, Baz is in the background drinking more Stella Fatwa, trying his best not to pour it onto his helmet.
At this point, your mullah will go over to the wall and ring the bell. Time, gentlemen, please. I think we have some more work to do. As this is going on, who would like to roll a perception check?
Neri is looking around just in horror, I guess, in general, so is being perceptive.
Aris would like to as well.
Oh, and more that deafened thing. That was from forever ago.
22.
Got to open my sheet. Fuck.
Okay. Wind still howling through the broken down doors. It's a lot windier than you remember it being.
Sure is. It's been really windy here the last couple days, like horrifyingly windy. The greenhouse next door blew over 2 days ago. Yeah,
Into the pool.
into the pool.
You're looking at 70 or 80 mile an hour winds in this situation. Over here it's only 70. But that's since been
You
replaced
just
with
made
torrential
one of
rains.
those videos in front of it, floating in the pool. Like, oh look, the climate catastrophe is real. Like, look at the wind.
No, it's too close to a while back. Back in like the early, it must have been 2015 or so, and we had a very mild earthquake over here for some reason. No one knows why. And
Weird.
someone just showed a picture of a plastic deck chair that had been toppled over, and it just said, "We will rebuild."
Never forgetting.
never forgetting.
We had it was like a Richter scale, like 1.4. I thought a fucking wardrobe had fallen over in the house. But well, pressing. So any rise on 23?
Yep.
Baz is still drinking.
Okay, with 23, you notice a number of things. First and foremost, it makes sense that you get the highest one in this one, Ormond, as in the distance you see plumes of smoke.
Any idea, like, from my familiarity with the town, where it's coming from? or appears to be coming from?
It's from reasonably close.
I mean, like, would I know?
It's from within the confines of the town.
Okay.
And it's not just one plume of smoke, it's multiple. Dotted all around the landscape of the town.
Guys, I think the problems may not just be limited to us. You know, Neri will point out the door at the plumes of smoke.
Another thing to consider is something is walking up the gravel path of Muster Hall.
Can I make out anything about it? Approaching object?
Do I and Evergreen witness this?
Oh yeah, it's fairly easy to see. It's a goblin that his clothes are in tatters. He's covered in soot.
Oh no.
One of his ears has been like burned off.
Why do I have the feeling we might have encountered this in a cave where fire was set in a
Oh
cave?
no. Oh no. Is it back?
Is it the one that got away?
You're not sure. You have trouble telling goblins apart because you're racist.
Can I use
Sure.
geography to try
Yep,
and pin
yep.
him down?
Yes. The irony that the more racist you are, the easier you time you have telling the different members of each race apart.
Funnily enough, it's actually a curse I got for Baz.
Isn't that like the opposite of racism?
Yes.
I can
Oh
be
shit, it's horseshoe theory.
specifically towards him.
No, that's how you defeat the Fae.
Uh,
Horseshoe theory. Oh, that joke was
21.
crap.
Do I recognize him?
That's a member of the same clan. But if it is the same one, it's too charred to really ascertain.
I would like to use, hold on, that is the wrong sheet, no it is not. I would like to use my composite longbow and shoot it.
Okay, you may.
Okay.
How far away is the target?
Mental.
It's it's still wandering up. It's about 50 feet away.
Oh,
It's
damn.
I will say it's probably not Runcible Dave because Runcible Dave was fully grown. This one is like an infant.
Oh, could I take a 5-foot step back and then shoot it?
Yes.
Okay, then get a
Infant.
+1. I'll just move basically over
Yeah,
here.
it's like it's tiny. It's not small size. It's like tiny.
Oh.
I'll just tell people in front, just quietly, please duck. As she will get her,
I will
ready.
Before, as she's notching her bow, true strike.
So Evergreen will kind of juke out of the way.
So we have 2, then we have
Yeah.
+3,
Oh,
and then we
goodness.
have another plus.
Sorry.
I rolled it. No, I misspelled.
What?
It would have been then.
At 20. At 20.
At least 32, I think that hits.
Hold on. There's other bonus I forgot. It is +7. Is it 7? I think from my end. So it would be
+20.
17 plus 20, 37.
Okay. You nail it right in the face. Roll your damage.
Yeah.
While she's killing that, Iris is currently retrieving a smorgasbord of food for the man at the door.
Okay.
Eris is carrying pretty much the entirety of the supply of food from the storeroom. And she's doing it with reasonable ease.
16 damage.
There's not even a face left. You essentially
goes
just shear
through.
off the top. The broadhead arrow just scythes off the upper portion of its skull,
Bruh.
and it falls to the ground in that.
I would like to prepare another arrow if another one comes in range. Or
Second
on
round of
through
true
the
strike.
map.
Second round of true strike!
It is a prepared action. Can you put a true strike on prepared actions?
Yeah,
Yes I
that's
can.
around there.
It is.
Okay.
I'm assuming this takes
It'd be
around.
easier for him to ready an action to cast True Strike, to go with your ready action.
Yes, because I'm not gonna fuck around and find out with those anymore. I'm sorry, I'm traumatized. I have a range of 110, but I will just have it limited to if it arrives on the map. Because it is there, I will shoot.
This one, again, another very young goblin.
I'll shoot it again.
This is a member of the Greenfoot tribe, which are naturally smaller than all the other ones, and this one's tinier still. It looks like it was... With your ethnography skill, less than a day old.
It is a literal infant.
I'm shooting
No.
it. I don't care.
Child murder.
Yes. Yeah. And then plus 20 from True Strike, was it?
I'm not going to make you... If you got True Strike, I'm not even going to make you roll. Just don't roll a 1.
I want to take that gamble. 37 again.
Yep. Roll your damage.
15.
This one catches it in the solar plexus and it shrieks horribly as it crumples to the floor.
Good.
How many rounds will it take to feed the orc at the door?
Or the remaining ogre?
Yes, ogre.
Oh, it doesn't take very long at all. He just kind of he just grabs a fistful and just shoves it as well. He goes to take more accurately. He goes to take a bite, and he looks down at the mess of like cooked pig and bits of bacon and cheese, and then he looks across at the burning remains of the troll and just kind of quietly puts the food down and sits himself down, puts his head in his hands.
The eyes are gonna go full fuchsia. It's gonna fall real close to his face. Shine.
So I'll be reading another arrow.
Anymore.
He's gonna get real close to his face. Sure, let us drink.
Unemployment was better than this.
Eyes will go full cyan. I am terribly sorry for your pain. But you do have to admit, there is a little bit of stupidity involved. You broke into a chamber that was fully defended, unaware of the surroundings of the siege location. This was ill-advised.
He kind of nods quietly and very solemnly. Yeah, is it look? So yeah, I knew that was the case, but yeah.
When all you have is a piece de prayer, huh?
He just kind of like still sitting there, like his scimitar is like up against the wall, like an umbrella and an umbrella stand. Like he's just he's literally beside himself.
Just to understand, if you do something, I will not hesitate to kill you. I won't even let the other guy do it. I will literally do it with my own hands. Just a little bit of flark.
That's what this says. Like it would probably be merciful compared to what I've seen. He didn't even say it. He just, with a look, he says, like, he'd gone notions toward the other guy.
I promise you, I will not let them kill you for no reason.
I'll just sit here.
Eat your food.
He looks down at the wheel of cheese. He looks over to his friend as the burning like sugar and fat renders out of his scorched face. You've never seen an ogre turn green before. Nor turn down. None of you have ever seen an ogre turn down food before. But there was something about the degree of viciousness that...
All fun and games until Baz pulls out the teriyaki sauce.
Yeah, that's the odor that's really kicking around here, is like off teriyaki sauce.
As I begin motions to float away, I move the 2 tokens of the cum beast that represent my ghost orbs and circle them around to his position, and prepare an action of shadow trap if he were to act hostile.
I will tell you this for free: he is not moving from this position. The only movement you will see from him is to position himself so that he doesn't have to look at the dead troll.
He just turns over.
Because you find before you a ogre trapped between the desire to not leave his friend's carcass behind, but also not wanting to look at it anymore. The ogre is not going to. I will tell you for free, with no sentiment required. The ogre is no longer an issue.
I just need to move the tokens to the door in case there's one on the road. and as they turn to leave, ice full future again. Shall let us drink. Float back inside.
Well, I know that now.
I'm just trying to get drunk.
This place is meant to be empty.
You're right.
Carl just dies.
It should be noted, like, ogres are frequently hired by the guilds. There's a couple of tribes of them that kick around in the upper, like, mountains, and it really is like a toss of the dice as to which side they're working for in any given conflict. But there's always been kind of a gentleman's agreement when it comes to the ogres. Like, you just kind of knock them out and ransom them back, like the tribes.
If only Han was here to actually hear that you should just knock him out.
Well,
Oh no, the trolls are different. Like, the trolls are different. Like, there are different tribes of trolls, though the majority of them are actually just loose coalitions. Forest trolls, like this one is, they're a bit vicious. Bridge trolls are a bit more civilized, but mostly they're just thick as sheep shit.
As they
The information I get to tell people when they have the added bonus of the geography skill for some fucking reason.
Thank you, dude.
As-
Very cool.
As they float back inside, eyes will go full Saiyan again. Mr. Evergreen, yoga will not be an issue anymore, but please find a way to cover the dead body that is currently rendering its face off. He does not want to sleep anymore.
Of course. Evergreen will go and he will very politely throw a bed sheet over the troll.
Oh, and Aris would ask if Evergreen has any spare arrows, as he's in the forestry guild.
Oh, of course. He kind of goes. He holds his hand up to his nose and he kind of mimics like how a person would like blow their nose and go, and like a couple of tree branches extrude. He snaps them off, and after a while, he's got a clutch of about 20 arrows.
Way. Thank you, sir.
Use them all at once. Ooh,
No,
sorry, I've got the most vile head rush.
God.
The pair will approach and float next to Iris. They're going to reach a hand directly through the center of her chest and pull out the rest of the ectoplasm that is causing random malevolency to allow her to regain her own senses and remove his influence from her body.
On the way out, you notice that it brings a bunch of like tar with it.
Tar.
On the plus side, I think you just saved Eris from a future with like emphysema.
Being pulled out like
But
the
you do accidentally knock a smoking pipe to the ground.
smoking pipe. Have a smoking pipe?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, she doesn't smoke rollies. Anyone who smokes rollies is the chap from the Churches Guild. Papers are expensive. Honestly, he only has papers because he steals the indulgences slips and purity seals from the church and uses those.
He has to
Absolute
steal
lad.
them?
Well, not technically stealing. He appropriates them for the improper use. On the plus side, his cigarettes do like dispel a small amount of evil in a certain radius, kind of like burning sage. It does make your ectoplasmic skin itch whenever you're near Dusty, though.
Bill, you're giving me the idea for a Rastafarian priest.
I wield the mighty joint.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
The Rasta thing or the History of the World Part 1 reference?
But the Rasta priest.
It's a viable play.
At the very least,
It's called the Green Faith for a reason.
At the very least, a Rastafarian cleric or blackguard.
Whoops, yeah. I've seen the Rasta cleric roll a couple times, and druids as well. So, Rasta's the Rasta's got their own thing. I'm not. That's like one neck of theology I'm not that familiar with.
Effectively, you religiously train Smoke to remain in a state of higher thinking. Higher thinking, Carl is quotating actively with his hands. But more importantly, I free you of my essence, darling. How are you feeling?
Bit better.
He looks at his hand. I believe this is your long emphysema.
She looks down at the clump of like tar. She looks up at she looks at a little pouch of tobacco, like puts it back and gets out a different one that looks to be like a lighter brand, and packs it back with that.
He's going to give her are you dead ass right now look. He's gonna close his right eye and his left eye will go full fuchsia. Are you sure about that, darling?
It's the halfling stuff. It's a bit cleaner. But I need 5 minutes. She goes off into the back room for a smoke. The room, as soon as she lights up, the whole room what just fills with the smoke, with a description that will at some point probably become a bit grim, which is a burning spice emporium. It's also a burning Dutch trade ship. Muller is visibly like, ooh.
The two will actively take visual stock of the grounds while actively using his mind to speak to Kami Mark, to speak to the flag runner over in the other room that I left with a wheel of cheese.
Mm-hmm. Hello. I say in my brain to you. Answering the brain phone.
Do you choose to look inside the depths of your mind, Mark?
I picked up the brain phone, yeah. Hello.
Inside the space of your mind, you can actively
inside my mind, it's my rules, and there's a phone that you've rung that I've answered.
It's like Stalin's little red phone.
There's a ghostly head holding up a phone and two eyes of two different colors. Both of them say, "Hello." I need to speak to you for a moment.
Our mind.
Oh, God. It never ends.
And then, what's your plan, Stan? What's on the agenda?
He'll clear his throat. 4 other hands raised up, representing the rest of the party. Everyone, I believe that we have just been sieged upon by a station party that was attempting to break the Muska Hall because the rest of the area of town has already been impacted. We need to gather our wits, gather our supplies, and set foot for the town. Also, don't worry about the ogre. He's absolutely traumatized. Absolutely traumatized, I think.
Did you see her? It is the ogre. He's in a state of distress, and he appears to be getting worse.
As for the situation of the hall, try to gather yourselves. If you've been absolutely deafened by the blast of the basilisk lizard, try to gather your senses, and somebody please console Miri. She is in indefinite pain. Indefinite pain.
Alright, so let's go and work out what happened in town, right? That seems to be the plan.
So far.
Before we go, does anyone need healing?
I think...
Miri emotionally.
I don't.
Yeah, right. Well, we all need some emotional healing.
The ogre's not doing hot in that regard either.
Yeah, I do.
I'll be alright.
Let's just wait. After a while, Iris will kind of go out front to smoke instead after a very stern talking to by Muller, and the tobacco pouch is passed around between her and the ogre.
Yeah, I'm a little bit dinged up.
The ogre is smoking his through like a sheath of willow bark that he's rolled into like a cigarilla.
Baz, if you wouldn't mind, I'm just a little, I'm just Just a little bit.
I wasn't. I'm not much of a healing type. I was just wondering if anyone else could sort that out.
Okay.
I'll look
didn't
at
think you
the
did.
scholarly fella.
Yeah, I didn't think you did. But so does anybody? I'm all right. Just
He'll
kind of.
proffer up a couple of bottles. He'll proffer up a number of bottles that are now they are humming very quietly, with a kind of soft, sonorous hum, and they've got kind of a glint to them. I always have a couple on me. They do look disquietingly like they might have been made from the algae that you delivered to him earlier. Or at least a very similar breed of algae. But there's a disquieting graininess to them, like one of those green smoothies.
It's like you didn't wash like the grains properly, and there's like sand in it as well still.
There's a little bit of grit at the bottom. He just tells you not to, drain the whole thing. You just only need to drink like 3/4. You notice that the cap has like a little like mesh over it, like a filter.
Oh, nice. That's actually quite smart.
They're rather a lot like tea bags. Drink the tea all the way down to the bottom while you eat the leaves, don't you?
Well, that's why you use a tea bag, so you don't have to eat the leaves.
They are rather expensive these days.
Get one of those diffusers, metal ones.
Interferes with the product. Reacts with the metal, that's why I use glass.
Take your medicine.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a bit of a hurry with the whole active siege going on.
Gentlemen,
Yeah, I feel like we should
ladies,
probably.
I fear the situation is more dire than we think. At this point, you notice that Sir Evergreen has absconded to the top of a tree, which he has climbed with all the agility of like an ivy plant.
Oh, that's scary.
The ghostly bear will fly to his position.
It's bad. It's a lot of fires, and they are like spread out evenly. Do you have knowledge engineering or knowledge siege engineering?
I have a feeling that is a specific question for someone very
I wonder who
specific in the
has
party.
siege engineer. I wonder who it is that might take siege engineer with the same frequency that I take craft alchemy. Okay, whoever has done this, those fires, they're spread out completely evenly. Whoever has done this has a knowledge of siege engineering. Furthermore, there is clear kinetic damage and concussive damage to the roofs, meaning these fires were set from above and were preceded by some kind of explosion, such as a fireball or perhaps a grenade. And that has sheared the shingles off of the roofs, sending the slate scattering, and then some kind of incendiary has been dropped into the wooden rafters.
Wait, is the whole town where I'm currently being
It
burned
looks
down?
like
a couple of many places all around town, spread fairly evenly. Whoever's doing this, it's
They know what they're doing.
too widespread to happen from a wall. You fear this might be the work of infiltration,
Well,
because there's no damage around the gates.
considering we just had a bunch of crap literally dropped on our heads on our party, it seems like we're not the only ones who've been affected. This seems quite planned.
Sounds like it's time to get to work. Baz will put on the keg backpack, which he's made in the meantime.
I will call
Hell yeah!
Albert
I'm a
over as well.
Yes, so you can walk around and get drunk. I'm a grip and sip.
I fashioned a straw from metal and
He has a...
have it run through my salle so I can drink while fighting.
Is there still a pint of Stella Fatoi on the table?
Yes, assume any pint currently on the tables is Stella Fatoi.
I use the rope trick bag to pick the pint up and carry it in dimensional space, then use the rope to extend the drink to the ogre.
Are you sure about that?
Not really, but I'm.
If the GM
anyways.
asks, oh no.
He will like lift it to his lips, and oh, there's kind of a strange kind of look of serenity on his face.
That action.
I need to roll on the. I have to quickly roll on a potion miscibility table. Give me one moment. Oh no!
Oh no. Oh no, no.
Okay, where is my copy of that? Give me one moment, folks. I wasn't expecting to wheel this chart out.
While you do so, Eros would have called also Albert over, so he gets a bit desensitized to shit going wrong and weird smells like off soy sauce or teriyaki sauce. Just so
The air is sticky with troll fat. Troll oil is notoriously horrific to clean, even if it's airborne. It's like being next to a chip pan, like just grease covering every facet of the air.
When like the grease is in the air and on top of the cabinets and just like piles up.
Like
Ugh.
being next to a burning troll is most likened to being in a room with a grease fire in an area with an active quarry.
Did the blanket
There's an easier word for this. The troll carcass is musty.
No, it's worse than just musty.
No.
It's like actively like grimy and gritty.
There's another phrase for that. His body is kicking like Tybo.
Oof.
Popping off.
Did the blanket Sir Evergreen put on there extinguish the fire?
It wasn't really a fire, it was just smouldering, like, molten sugar.
It's like
right.
the after hit by a hot
Oh
grease
no,
pan.
hang on.
Oh boy.
It's gotten worse, folks. I have to roll on the supernatural powers table.
I have an arrow readied in case anything happens. No matter what is hostile, it will get shot.
There is supposed to be ghost lights hovering around his head for preparation for shadow trap.
It's not so often that you get to roll 1d300 plus 700.
Bruh.
Aura of disgust.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Perfect.
He's so traumatized by this that it physically manifests as an aura.
Unironically. As the instigator of the mind break, could you roll me a d8?
Alright.
And a d6?
Way.
And a d4. Okay, anyone who can see the mutant is filled with self-loathing strength disgust.
The mutant.
In this case, the ogre in this point has suffered what we call a problematic miscibility event, which is you get to roll on a table because you just suffered a permanent mutation.
Ah.
In this case, looking at this ogre makes you makes you feel bad about yourself to even look at him.
Can I roll to have half of my brain not affected?
Well, you're a ghost.
Well,
so
I'm
I'm pretty
immune-
affected by it. So
I'm
you're immune
immune
to disgust effects.
I'm immune to the effect, but it's that one part of my brain is like, this poor dear man has been physically hurt by us. And the other one's like, I might cause pain.
Well, even then, it's like, ugh, that's not, you know, you get one of those ones where like you thought it was going to be satisfying. It's like, ugh. It's like physically painful to look at.
Meanwhile, he's having himself a case of common Minecraft lore as he's hearing, you didn't have to cut me up. Taking a sip.
While in his head, it's just Little Dark Age. Okay. So now that the ogre has contracted like a major mutation, what would people like to do?
The ghost will grin at him without using its face, leaving nothing but a skeletal face staring at him with both eyes aglow. Well, it seems you've got yourself a superpower there. You're welcome.
He kind of looks at you at this. You know when you get like X-Men, like Rogue, where they've got like the really rough superpowers, and they've just watched Storm like try and talk for them. It was like that's a look of indignation. Well, folks, chaps, I think it's time that we make a move. I think there's some duty that calls us. I kind of lapsed into Sean Connery there for poor old Ferrand, but it's extremely difficult to do this voice all the time. So pardon me, ladies, gentlemen. And the others will follow suit. Even Muller will waddle out into the city proper to try and lend his aid. If there's anyone that you'd like to kind of Shanghai into your squad, and now's the time to say.
So hang on. Like this Twitch guy that I'm talking to in the other room.
Yep, Coria.
He's still trying to convert him.
He seems receptive.
Last week, I learned that he's wearing his crowbar. So, you know, he's taking up the crowbar. So I'm gonna say to him, like, bro, the town's like the weakest it's ever been. Like, this is our opportunity to seize the revolution for the Workers Guild. And then I'm gonna hand him like you know the bronze sickle that I have that's not magic anymore. It was only magic while we was in that place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give that to him and say, I'm gonna trust you with this magical bronze sickle. And we're gonna change your name as well from Twitch. From now on, I'm gonna call you Leon Twitch Ski, and you're gonna help me, bro. And we're gonna do a revolution. Be ready when the time comes. You'll know.
You can count on me, sir.
The door out here, and I'll walk out like a badass. Before he can say that.
I will unironically check.
Using Neri's body, I will march her to, what was his name? Youngir?
Oh, you're hungry.
And using Neri's mouth, but my voice, Youngir, we're setting out to the town. Come with us.
Yeah, put Youngir back on the layer. No, Youngir is this guy up top. That's Sparrow, who is just like a rent-a-cop, essentially. He's basically the Paul Blart of this region. Jahangir, by the way, I'm gonna Neri, can I get will save?
Sure thing.
Jahangir's got this very unfortunate thing about him that he has just a resting bitch face so aggressive that you actually do need to roll a will save to talk to him. Yep, you're fine. It's weirdly you're not like your own aura of peace is kind of counteracting the resting bitch face of the enormous Middle Eastern man. What do you want?
We need you to come with us to town. The town's being sieged by someone with intelligence about how to counterfeit. It's time for us to start dealing with people, active voice change, and start taffing about.
About bloody time. Lead the way.
Made with the rest in the front. Start marching Neri. And you, Rent-A-Cop, come with us too.
Oh, bloody hell. Alright. Calm down already. Cooler heads will prevail and all that. Good grief.
Albert will
Oh,
come
bloody hell, what happened to him? He just passes like it's like a greasy, oily, like grey-brown stain spreading through a corpse sheet.
I want to run back in and say to Steve the Cum Beast.
I should stress that Steve the Cum Beast is just like a lighting fixture, which makes this funny, because basically you've run up to a table lamp and said, hold down the fort, and then left.
A ghostly table lamp, because it is a ghost light. walked up to an orb of my spectral light and said, "Hey, yo, fam, what's good?"
So eventually the lights go, "Ew, what the fuck?"
Often you can think that it is a Beast mirage, but it is only just a ghost light.
I still like the idea of it having a personality, but just being very nonchalant about it.
Malutum will take control of
Holy shit.
the body. And we'll look towards the ogre.
Just in, 50 bucks for Mechanicus on duty.
Oh wow, thank you.
Due to a change in scheduling on my end, I won't be able to catch any more of these live for the foreseeable future. So I leave you with this one final curse. Indians,
Thank you.
Bill.
Oh no. I will,
Project.
thank you.
Thank you,
And
Mechanicus,
also,
first of all. Also,
well, I'm
thank
not
you
sure
for
how
always
long we're going to be
watching.
thanking him.
yes.
But yeah, thanks for showing
And I
up.
am now scared.
Yeah.
I am now
Terrified.
afraid.
I'm less
in
scared.
danger.
We are in
I'm less scared, or just potentially annoyed in the future. Ludum will take control of the body and will look towards the ogre. You can either stay here, or you can come with us and fight. I promise no harm will come to you as long as I am responsible for your protection, and we will continue to feed you. The Count will have to show you thanks for your assistance during this active siege that you have clearly, been a part of.
He's kind of leaving himself up. Enough invention, nothing gained, I guess. Anything will keep being here looking at that.
Is he wounded in any major way, or like...
No,
anything?
psychologically, extremely, but not physically.
Okay.
He's kind of in like a fugue state at this point.
Without
One
turning,
word. You'll hand over a very strange-looking medallion.
mm-hmm.
Well, I should go back on my word. And this into my tribe. As usual.
I'll move the bag of holding and open the bag with a shake. Drop it in.
Drops it in. If anyone wants to roll knowledge local or any kind of ethnography check, they can check that.
Sure, why not?
This is a cultural thing.
And would history work?
Whoops.
Yes, it would.
Okay.
Damn.
Well,
Baz, Baz
feel
with his- Okay. Baz, you know this off by heart. Ogre mercenaries have a very strict rule about hiring. Once you're hired, until you are defeated, you cannot renege on your word. And if you hand over that pendant that each ogre carries, it's got a couple of different names in different languages. It basically translates to it's similar to a kind of a gelt payment. If you feel that your ogre mercenary has gone back on his word, you hand this into their tribe, and their tribe hunts him down and eats him alive.
I see.
oof.
Ogres are extremely cannibalistic. On the island, they're a bit more refined than on the mainland, where they are also inbred, like incestuous cannibal.
Hill have eyes.
And like
Hill have
full
eyes.
on hills have eyes, but gigantic. And as a result, the island ogres are a bit more sentient. The ones on the mainland are basically just gigantic, angry children. These ones are a bit more professional, but they still practice cannibalism as a punitive measure, as they consider the tarnishing of one ogre's name to tarnish the whole tribe. So as a result, they inflict the prion disease on themselves as a punishment of the group.
Hmm.
Ogres.
What language do ogres speak?
They speak Uruk.
Aw, I can't antagonize him. I can't antagonize
Giant.
him.
Some
Damn
speak
it.
Goblin. The Isles ogres, which are colloquially on the mainland known as high ogres, also occasionally known as tower ogres, they have more of the blood of giants in them, so they're a bit more likely to end up with a high intelligence score.
Okay. I need to start studying languages of the enemy so I can start antagonizing them in their own language.
Wait. Baz
That
will
is-
hand Neri, Eris, and Mark 2 potions each of Cure Light Wounds.
Oh, thank you. Which I will.
Thank you very much.
Mula will hand
I have a
out.
question also. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, Mula will hand out a 6-pack of vials of infernal healing. These are specifically, he mentions, specifically tinctured from sanguine slimes, thus the unfortunate magical effect. But they are perfectly safe and do not have the alignment taint of usual infernal healing potions, because they're not made from unholy water or demon's blood.
Okay.
They are still blood doping, but still, that's only a legal issue if you happen to be a sportsman and not a defender of the city.
As the ogre begins walking off to join the group, without turning his head, the ghostly pair will start reminding him, and remember, your life is in our hands.
The ogre kind of chimes in. I'd argue technically it always was.
Just as long as you
Kind of the nature of
remember.
combat, isn't it?
Just as long as you can remember, I can rend you down to nothing with these hands.
He kind of looks completely indignant. He looks back at the man like, how are you not the worst one?
He gave me the light-stick stare.
He shrugs. We don't always choose our company.
I'm gonna go step on some goblins and blow off some steam. Oh,
I'll on yell after him now. Good lad!
if you run into a prick with a dodgy pair of glasses on, kill him first.
Noted. The pair will now put their attention back on Iris, who's probably still smoking her pipe.
Yeah, she looks a bit shell-shocked. She's never been possessed before, and she's not taking it terribly well.
The eyes will go actively dark because they're now fighting with each other about what to say next. And the conversation, to sum it up, is basically, no, do not make jokes. Do not make jokes. Come on, I just want to say if it was good for her.
The look on her face is like, you know those pictures of people, those cosplay girls who are like drinking from a 40 and smoking a blunt at the same time, sat on a hotel room bed, like looking fucking miserable.
The resident anime girl doing the Rich Evans pose.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just, what is it like?
So all she can see right now is a floating deathless ghost whose eyes have gone completely blank before they then light back up again, both colors. She'll hear, it's going to be a Digimon Frontier situation. She's going to hear both voices at the same time, but I'm only going to do the Lutums because that's fucking...
As you open your mouth, she holds up a finger, and there's a very strong sensation that if you open your mouth, it's specifically going to be a Digimon Data Squad scenario.
I unfortunately did not watch that.
That's the one where the dude literally punches Digimon to death.
Oh, it doesn't.
He doesn't even have Digimon to fight each other. He uses them as a platform to get higher to punch larger Digimon in the face.
Oh yeah, you showed me clips from that.
It's the G Gundam with Digimon.
Nice. They will choose to slowly close their mouths, and the eyes will go full cyan. The Lutum speaks. We do need to get about, and unfortunately, I'm going to need to possess you. Your body is like a spring coil. That arm of yours, your husband must be very proud of you.
Okay, everyone in the area feels a sudden aura of dread.
Yeah.
Like, if you are within 100 yards, I need a will save
I will
versus
say.
fear.
Okay, I shall roll my.
Even
will
if you
save.
are immune.
Here's my will save. Wait.
That's very bad.
Hold on, you're not used to feeling fear because your species isn't really able to. But suddenly, you feel how that ogre did for a second earlier. You feel like it might be in your best interest to retreat. towards the fighting, where it's safer.
Towards
The only
fire.
person who passed the save was Eris.
Bruh.
Eris is too high-strung about the situation at hand. She's like, nope.
I think she just hasn't noticed. Everyone else is
Yeah.
like,
She's just too high-strung on the current situation.
Ferrand has run in the opposite direction. He's running towards the fight. It's safer there.
Az is very baffled by this, as this is the first time in a long time that he feels adrenaline in his system.
But if you didn't know better, you would think that even the troll retreated 5 feet away from that sentence.
Ludum's gonna take a pregnant pause and say that that's not what I meant.
I'm gonna go.
She points over there with her teeth are clenched down the pipe so much that you can see it just shears clean through like the piece of horn that is the mouthpiece.
Woman,
And
get
she-
over your problem. We have things to do. I'm trying to give you a compliment. We need to leave.
She just kind of slings past you and advances towards the fight.
Everyone probably just moves over, like, just a step away from her. It's like,
Anyone who gets in the path is getting overrun, essentially.
also, if Albert could be next to me. I don't want him to be in the front lines as the pupper he is. Right.
Just about comes over when you.
I
incorporate.
have a question as well.
Mhm.
I just want to check. I know that we're reacting very calmly, obviously, in this scenario.
You can hear the
but everyone else in the
screams.
town is going mental and running around.
Yes.
Like,
You're
like
starting-
it's 9/11 BC or whatever.
Yeah, it's bad. Like you're starting to hear cries of pain coming
Okay,
from
so
the
would it be
town.
reasonable then for us to assume that there's NPCs running across the bottom of this map constantly? So I would like to, while all of this has been going on, I've just been standing here doing bourgeois checks and handing out crowbars to people.
No one at this
As
neck of
you
the
do.
woods. They built the muster hall specifically in one of the poorer areas because they wanted the adventurers to essentially play the part of. Essentially, the guards are located by the nobles, like quarter, whereas in the poorer quarter there's the adventurers guild, because usually problems break out in the poorer quarter first. This, like whatever this attack is, it's been dispersed completely evenly to maximize damage.
Actively going to force Neri to be in the front, make use of her
Okay.
aura to
Oh.
settle civilians, and she will focus on support before the initiation of combat. Also,
Okay. At this junction, I should probably point this out. Could someone roll me a perception check or sense motive?
I shall. Sense motive. Shit. Perception it is.
Okay. Okay. It's harder to check for the for perception, so something was the easier one.
15.
Okay. This is something I'm not gonna DM this to people because I'm a firm believer in open secrets because it's funny. Armand, Baz,
Yes.
you know what's happening. Something strange has happened. Neri's aura is not having the usual calming effect. It's quite the opposite. It's whipping people into a frenzy.
Oof.
Something has gotten crossed. It's almost like someone donated money and said, instead of inflicting calm, it instead causes rage. On the plus side, that's now turned Neri into one of the most effective buff machines in the party.
That is actually really good.
Was everyone raging
Bill,
now? Like
I have a
hard
question.
rage?
Being that I'm a half troll, I have an ability called Adrenaline. Would that proc because of this?
What's the effect do again?
Basically just a bonus to strength. Whenever you are field or sickened, I think.
Yes, but if it's a morale bonus, it doesn't stack.
Alright.
Just take the better. In this case, I'm going to rule it's a +2 to to strengthen Constitution for the rage.
All right.
I'm gonna teleport 30 feet straight up into the air, actively start broadcasting my voice down, and just start yelling general names for people that the second brain has decided. First being Mountain. This is gonna be hard because I'm gonna make a third voice for it when they speak in unison, which sounds a little bit like Silk from Path of Exile. Mountain Man connects to the Mountain Woman. She gives an aura of anger. And just start walking directly next to Iris, in between her and the ogre.
After a while, you notice that on the fringes of the aura, like for copyright reasons, we won't start singing "Savages" from Pocahontas, but it's about similar.
I see.
But rage is +2 to strength, right?
Or the mob song from Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, it's a +2 strength and con. In this case, use the temp hit points for ease rather than actually increasing your hit points.
Yes.
Because let's be real, no one actually likes the whole rage rule where you're like, oh, you've ended your rage. Time to stop rolling saves or you die.
In this case, Mountain Man is the ungear person. Then you'll actively broadcast to everyone. Everyone, I'm going to do a quick ritual and give you a quick induction into ghostwriting. For the remainder of this event, as we scarper about, I'm going to end up possessing some of you, possibly not consensually and at will. We will deal with it later. Death is on the line.
Sparrow will sort. Well, if you need flesh and blood, I might as well make myself useful. And kind of like holds his arms out as if he's about to be shot, and he's like scrunched his whole face up. Like he's bracing for something.
I'm gonna actively teleport 30 feet down and do the Miles Morales shoulder to him. I'm not going to possess you.
He kind of looks he looks offended. Fine. Oh my god, I'm gonna go bloody well do some garden then.
Good lad.
He pulls the short sword from its sheath, and there's a nice pleasing like kind of shing noise as he does it.
For reference, what is actual skills for his build?
Oh, Sparrow?
Yes.
He's like a level 1 fighter. He's not very...
Yeah. Just gonna give him a passing.
Very spirited.
Just gonna give him a passing.
Actually, no. I'll be fair. You can appraise him fairly easily, so I'll tell you the full details. He's not just a level 1 fighter. He's a level 1 Viking fighter. So he's a mixed rage. He's kind of like a mixed fighter barbarian.
As he's walking past,
He's kind of got school shootery vibes. I'm not gonna lie.
As he's walking past, go stand next to Neri as we conquest.
So I think that it recognizes now that my aura of calm is now an aura of rage. Or I'm just noticing it's
barely even.
I mean, eventually, if you look to your direct right, you're going to probably see Iris steaming into a pile of anger.
Okay, it's a 10-foot radius on Aura of Con, just letting you know. So it's not like 50 feet or something. It's only 10.
The
I
majority.
want your body next to you. I want
I'm just saying, like, it's not gonna make this.
The adventurers are with you. They're not necessarily going to be staying with you for this. They're going to have to split off because there are so many fires, and
Right.
You're starting to hear the clarions start to play, like the war bugles that are only used in case of emergencies are blaring at full pelt at this point. For the sake of everyone's hearing, I won't be
Maybe we
playing
should
the audio for
get
it.
going.
So, Baz is going to quickly concentrate on the weather. He's going to mutter a prayer to himself. And I would like to activate Control Weather to increase the precipitation level.
Okay, what's your upper echelon on that?
Well, I shall increase it to, let me check the weather categories.
Oh boy. Watch him cause a tsunami and we're like, oh
Heavy.
fucked.
So level 5.
You're getting pushback from something. Because, okay, you as you have some weather magic, you can tell what's natural weather and what's not. The cloud cover today is not natural. It should be a bright, clear blue sky. And the wind isn't moving the clouds. Despite the fact it's blowing an absolute gale. Like, it should be impeding archery. But like, the trees are barely swaying.
Right.
As we start heading into town, is it possible for the party to go in movement with certain people, or do you want the party to remain with the party?
You can maybe bring one person with you, maybe two at most. But anyone you take, I'm going to be factoring in on the town's relief elsewhere.
Okay.
And that could, I will warn you now, it'll be made very clear to you, if you take too many people down one avenue, you could lose sections of the city to the fires. Because
Really should be
you
fine.
can see flames creeping above the actual line of the houses now.
Can I get a general understanding of the builds of the both not Mages Guild, of the, I wouldn't say Foresters Guild and the Churches Guild?
Okay.
We already know what Iris does. She's a cleave.
Yeah, cleave build. Muller is an alchemist. He specializes in chirurgy and other forms of medical alchemy, and has a specialization in preserved slimes being used kind of like just fodder. So lots of acid flasks and summoned slimes and such. He's got a couple of flasks of like preserved slimes. Sparrow is a short sword lantern rushdown build. Ferrand is a drill sergeant, so he gives him morale buffs. So Evergreen is an absolutely horrific zoning build, using bodyguard and combat patrol, and pretty much just a really vicious halberd build. Unfortunately, you can't really occupy his body as a plant. He's very difficult to actually control. It's like trying to run an electronic device with the wrong kind of plug. Like, or the wrong operating system. And furthermore, he's actually a lot more strong-willed than these people are, and won't consent to being occupied by a member of the undead.
Considering
your
his
friend-
brother was beforehand too.
Yeah. Probably not too fond.
Forcibly, probably against his will, like mine.
Yeah. Your drunken elven friend here is a drunken master monk. As he gets drunker, he starts to go through what's called the gates of alcoholism. He will eventually reach a state where he is so drunk that he transcends time. But it will also kill him.
You have literally given us both the background of a Naruto Taijutsu master and literally rock and Might Guy's build.
On the Roxley.
Who
I'm
else?
going with on the Roxley.
On the rock.
That's an actual build, by the way. That's just like a regular vanilla archetype for the monk. And your friend here is he's a reaper. He's a variant of the ranger that specializes in persistence hunting and bleeding.
And what about Young Gear?
Jahangir, well, how can I put this politely? His class is literally called Vindictive Bastard. He's a fallen paladin specializing in very, very strong smites and a few teamwork feats.
Just in from Zalmas, $50. The adventurers are taking too long to spur into action. 3 NPCs die. Dealer's choice.
No.
Hey, I get to cull this nightmare list of like 55 goddamn NPCs.
Eh. The real question is that the NPC's going to be important.
Well,
Ooh,
Bill's gonna
never know.
decide, and we're just gonna have to cope.
Be a shame if something happened to the proprietor of the cat cafe, causing it to close.
No.
Get a move on, otherwise our miss will give more money.
How for the last question? How much fire can Evergreen put out by himself if he focuses on survival?
Evergreen is a tree.
Yeah.
He'll be put on fire first. 'Cause I was
he
gonna
could-
suggest, okay, have Evergreen fighting, but not fighting fires.
He can hold a Evergreen can hold a street by himself quite easily.
That's
And
what I mean.
if the fire starts to spread to his area, he can physically pull a small building down by himself with
Yes,
just the hook of his head.
That's exactly
can-
what I want to know.
Yeah, he can basically keep a district under control.
All right. Evergreen continues on his own. The Reaper and the Monk continue on his own. Young Gear can continue on his own. The what did you say the Curse Man was?
Cursman?
Yes.
Think
My
for,
brain is defaulting to Shining Force right now. I'm trying to remember all the information.
Okay, the one with the eye patch?
Yes.
Drill Sergeant, he gives AoE morale buffs.
That might
Drill
be
Sergeant
good
needs
for
to
fire,
go
like
with
keeping fires down, like him telling people what to do, how to put fires out.
He can organize like a militia.
the Drill Master needs to go with whomever my character icon is currently next to.
Oh,
Slime.
that's Sparrow. and
Slime
Oh,
Ranch.
Slime Boy.
Yes, the Drill Master will go with Sparrow, and with the Reaper, the Monk, and the other guy will go with Evergreen, with Evergreen splitting off down the hill, and Young Gear will also go on his own, because I think he was going to be strong enough to do so. We will take Iris, and we will take the Alchemist. The Ogre will also go on his own, and the eyes will spring fuchsia as he gives him the "I got my eyes on you" appearance, and
Okay,
telling him
perfect.
to does his job.
The Alchemist is Slime Boy.
Yes, those two will come with us.
Okay. And that if you can all gather yourselves on this chunk over here, on the forecourt, on the ground, I'll take you over to the next map. You'll all be glad to know there'll be no active lighting for this section because everything's nicely well lit by all the burning buildings.
Well, Albert.
Because they are
no.
top floor fires, they don't actually spread down the smoke to the lower floors. Okay. Okay, let me see one of my... No. Okay, we'll take you all... We don't want to accidentally take the orcs with us. Okie dokie.
It'd be a great
Welcome
time
to hell.
This is a great time to get that Shining Force music going.
I see all the icons
In fact,
spawned in,
Bill,
but not the fucking background.
can we do that?
For legal reasons, I think I'm just going to quickly turn up the sound of people running from a burning village.
Aw. I don't think Sega will care about Shining Force.
Sega is notoriously
Yeah.
litigious, we know it. Do you not remember the debacle with Atlas?
But over a Genesis game?
Yes.
Ah,
We're not gonna. No thanks.
I'll just have to listen to it.
Listening at home, folks.
So bring your own music club.
Yeah.
I can't. Big Sun.
There are people screaming in the streets. You know, you really start to meet the bulk of the fighting when at the bottom of the road you're currently in, there is a guardsman who is unconscious in the pool of his own blood, surrounded by the scattered corpses of goblins. The winds overhead have whipped the flames above into almost like just a maelstrom of heat. And even in places where the fire hasn't spread to, you can see leaves start to blacken and char.
Could I try and oppose the current effect on the weather by concentrating on it?
You may.
Alright.
It is going to be I believe it's a magic clap bonus opposed roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
The weather.
I'm just wondering what the bonus to that is. Is it just the cost, like the level and
Your
casting
it's
classes?
cost level plus your stat. That's what I'm going to roll anyway.
Okay.
For those of us in player chat to want to hear what I'm using, we're going to be using Shining Force Battle 3 Myth Boss petition. And for the chat, I will also post the link in case you want to hear what I'm hearing.
We might see if we can get like a alternate soundtrack listing somewhere in a comment with some timestamps.
Honestly, Shining Forces Battle 3 music is appropriate for this because it's literally the beating drums of war.
Okay. Feed myself with this.
Let's go with... Let's go with the Sid Hood classic. Terror in the Woods. It's not a word, but it still works. Okay, you can feel the pitter-patter of your rain starting to break through the cloud. But there are a few places where your rain isn't getting through, and you're not sure why.
Could I do detect magic in the area?
Also, real quick for context, I'm spending additional spell points on it so that it would extend out to long range, and it maintains in this area for the next 9 hours.
Okay. Okay, Penny. Yep, you can go with a spellcraft check. Detect magic doesn't extend far enough into the air to actually reach most weather effects, which is a major concern when it comes to weather magic. It's why it's kind of its own jealously guarded art. However, you can, because the weather, of course, is affecting down here, you can pick up on the particulates. So it'll be a slightly more difficult than usual spellcraft check.
Have we already started rolling for initiative, or have the enemies not noticed us yet?
Speak of the devil.
We'll be moving into initiative shortly, but we'll not just. I'll let you know, because I'll be running these as like miniature encounters under their own.
Okay. At the bottom of the road there is a riot's worth of goblins streaming out. May I roll perception checks?
And I'd like to use detect magic.
Yes and yes.
Can the party aid for their own perception checks?
Yeah, sure.
Also, I know that we're not
flat individual checks, I'm afraid, rather than
okay. That's fine.
I need to roll
Also,
spellcraft
is
for
it
detect
intentional?
magic, right?
Is it intentional that Kami Mark is not on the map with us?
He's underneath Baz.
Oh.
People have moved. Yeah. There you
Okay.
go. So spellcraft for the detect magic.
Okay. Yep.
24.
Some of this stinks of illusion magic. Some of those clouds aren't real.
I'll let Baz know.
Alright. Good to keep in mind. Thank you, Ars.
Next, preparing ghost witch lights that will first start out as normal before being altered with additional 3 effects. 3 of them for however long we have before we start. It'll take at least 1 round and a half to get out all 3.
Okay.
Then preparing action on second round, 1 true strike, and web. Then conversation.
Control of Steve's gun base, by the way, just for.
Honestly, can we give my ghost lights a face?
You've got Steve to come
No,
on.
you can hunt them out. You can just update it.
Okay. After that, to the alchemist. How good are you in a fight?
Absolutely dreadful.
Understood. Back to Iris.
Understood, heavily.
Was probably still exceptionally angry at me.
Yes.
Full cyan eyes. You can hate me later, but I'm going to need to use your body.
She holds up her finger, gets out a bottle, pops the cork, drinks it, and quietly excuses herself behind a doorway. There is the sound of retching. And there's a kind of a shaky, ill put together copy of her. There's the local slime master will have check his pocket. Oh, vomit clone. I don't see that one very often. Here, you want it so much? She's yours. Don't fucking bother me again.
Pregnant pause, blink, double take, double take. If you could have done that, why didn't you say that the first time?
I've only got one.
That'll be fine.
And you don't bring your A game for the muster hall. Bring it from whatever business has gotten the problems there. There's always some new nightmare to deal with in this damn city.
I don't mean to spoil the marriage counseling, but there is a city burning down.
He'll actively look back at her with his game face on, which looks like, again, Cousin Fred from Courage the Cowardly Dog, but skeletal. Does she have all of your abilities?
Quite sturdy, but yes.
Is she as strong?
Yes.
Into the body.
This one I will put over to your control for ease, because I didn't want to have to keep doing the voice, it's kind of difficult to do.
Get your A game on, Bill.
I'm not doing a sultry female knight voice the whole game. It's fucking tiring.
Then have Aiden do it.
What?
God, no.
That would be difficult for that to work.
If I threw my chainmail hallbuck into Aiden's lap, she'd die.
Your what?
Chainmail hallbuck.
Oh god, yeah.
Makes more than you do.
Yes.
Okay, how do I set this thing's like balances? Continue your planning whilst I sort this out.
Okay. So far, I have a prepared action of
Now
Choose
you're
strike.
ready in action to change shape if enemies get within a certain distance.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, that is cool. Okay, I need to then check what range one of my abilities has.
Okay, could everyone check to see if they can control Slime Iris?
How do we do that?
Yep. We're gonna.
Oh.
Because I changed representation to be set as Steve the Cum Beast.
Ghost lights. Ghost lights. I need my 3 ghost lights.
Okay.
Should we also roll initiative already?
Yep, roll that preliminarily.
Albert will be on my turn. Though,
Last prepared action, Shadow Trap. So I should have 3 prepared actions. One should be True Strike, another should be Web, and another should be Shadow Trap.
By the way, everyone in Baz's aura will have protection against shaman compulsion effects. The only side effect of that being that, Carl, you will not be able to possess Baz for the time being.
That's fine. I can still be able to move you, I just won't be able to insert myself into your body.
No, it's probably easier. Rather than be set to being Steve, I'm just going to set it to being you.
I mean, I guess.
Find you in this absolute nightmare of a list of goddamn NPCs.
also, for those on stream that saw Eris' sheet, it's very outdated. I use myth readers outside of that for any of my roles.
Okay. You can hear the distant screaming of, "Hold! Hold the fucking line!" And just the chittering of goblins. You see this conga line of goblins?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't stop before it reaches the corner of another street.
What is the damage stats of her Claymore? Or Flambeer?
3d4. It is a full-size Zwander.
Yep.
And does it have the 20%, or rather, the higher number for critical chance?
No, it has ×3.
×3.
×3 crit. It's basically very similar to a Great Axe, but a bit more reliable on its damage.
Okay. I'm going to move Miri to the side of Coming Mark.
Okay, everyone's rolled their initiative.
It didn't add my initiative to the roll. Minus
You
18.
click on your icon before?
Yeah.
You
Nope.
can click on your icon, roll again, and then you can change
It's all good.
your...
I popped it
I don't
in.
want to risk potentially rolling lower.
Oh no, you,
Oh, but no,
you
we're
could
saying, like,
just
we can edit out
change the
that.
number.
But I've already put you on the initiative.
Okay.
I always put favor in the laps of the players. So, comrade, you are up first. By the way,
So
he is off with his crowbar and his sickle at your request, and he is doing his very best to play the role that you assigned to him.
So these goblin-y fellas at the other end of the street, like we can see them, correct?
Yes, you can see that they are very
and I
conspicuous.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to pull the gorb down the street. Like,
I should stress there is a shield. There is like a line of guards at the very. Oh wait, yeah, you're a communist. You don't care. But just so you know, there are like 3 guards holding on for dear, or 2.5 guards holding on for dear life.
You can do
against
one of
the
those
horde.
tricky rolls, you know, where you like.
Yeah, this one here is.
Or-
This guy here has already been decapitated by a.
You know what I mean, like where you
Snakes,
arc
so-
it so that like it's you put a spin on it, right?
I thought you meant like you're gonna arc it like that, like when you get guys who like literally just pelt the ball down the
No,
alley and it smashes into the ceiling and takes out the light
You put a
fittings.
spin on it so it will go around the.
Yeah, you can do a trick shot.
You're trying to
It's
do
a
it.
hell of a long shot though, and
there's obstructions in the way as well. Like it's going to take an incredible roll to pull it off.
but you are you. Mark. You do have a like. I don't want to jinx it by bringing attention to it, but the dice like you.
And if you do something awesome, yeah, there's always points for awesome.
Like the entire build of this character is just set up for me to do crazy shot things like this, isn't it? Like, so yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna try and do. And obviously do it in like a dancing fashion. Awesome.
Okay, yep. You've got the. If you want to get a kind of a leg up, you've got the angle to make the shot. Just roll the hit.
I think so. I'm not. It's less of me aiming at what I'm trying to hit. I'm just trying to dodge this shit on the way. Like if it gets all the way.
Oh yeah, you know, you have the right. You have to basically jump off a trellis work, like fixture, to get the right spin. But you can roll it, and I will majorly reduce the penalties for this. But this is still going to be a bit of a Hail Mary. Oh no, it would be just an attack roll, man, not a dance.
Oh, an attack roll.
For the Gorb?
You could dance while doing it,
No.
I suppose you could.
but yeah, I'm not sure if it's a great idea.
Oh god, he does the dance like those people that, like on TikTok and YouTube that have like that glass orb that they just move on their hands.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
Gravity juggling.
Yeah.
Sorry, friction.
Like I learned how
The
to
Goblin
do.
King from
Yes.
Labyrinth.
I was doing that, like, and I was showing my girlfriend how to do it, and obviously we're watching like a YouTube video at the same time.
Mhm.
She was rolling it on the back of her hand and then smashed the monitor on my laptop.
Oh shit!
Like, yeah, so cool. And then I had to buy a new one.
Wow.
That's a whole separate story. Like, I showed her how to.
Wild. Are you throwing the Gorb?
Yeah, well, I'm bowling the gob. I don't have the gob as a weapon, so I'm just gonna like click the sickle one in the place of the gob.
Okay,
I'm
there,
not. Okay.
there was someone in the waiting in the wings in this one. You can roll again, take the better of 2. it does at least roll in the right direction. So it starts spinning its way down. It does actually juke its way around the different.
It's a master of geometry as well.
And it does position itself expertly over the carcass of the dead guard. Unfortunately, it just kind of spins there continuously.
Genius.
I'll now put the gourd on. I should be able
Is next move Iris?
The gourd is now supporting the front line.
Can I drop this as an item? No, it just kind of pops up.
Build a wall there.
For ease, I'm going to put Dust Copy Towel there.
Here he is.
Unfortunately, you
Dust
can't drag
Copy Towel.
handouts onto the screen as items, so it's just spinning in place. As it spins, you notice that the birthmark kind of hangs in place. It's an optical illusion.
There's like tricks.
The chat should donate to give reactions of the front line. Yeah, corpse.
You do not have to.
You don't have to, but it'll be funny if you did.
Okay, for ease and for a lack of confusion with the similarly named Eris, I'm going to give Iris the nickname of Claymore Thought.
Yes,
Claymore
please,
thought.
because I've already been
It is
confused
confusing.
several
it tripped me up. It's like,
times.
oh yeah, I was meant to think of a different.
I've had other people also call Eris Iris several times. And it's just like,
Oh no.
like, oh god.
I'm fine where the hell she even is on this.
She's next to Iris.
No, I mean on the NPC listing.
She
luck.
is at the top of the list of NPCs for
The
household.
Samson household of
Oh yeah.
sorts. Diddy and Gogo. Hehe with the dogs.
What should be concerning to the audience is that I am fully aware of the order of the NPC list.
That's
I mean,
all
Bill
I
gives
can't
us
say
the
it. There
listing for a reason, so.
we go. It's Y Thought.
I'm terrified, Bill. Should be happy I don't own an obsidian.
Bruh.
Before she enters the combat, 6 words. Stay next to Neri. She will help rage.
Yeah.
It
Get
becomes
mad.
readily apparent that DeSampson doesn't really need much help. Okay.
Become angry.
She will move up. She will shift stances into another stance in the Dressel school, which is a lower right knight stance, and ready in action, bracing the Zweihander.
For those who have no idea what she's visually doing, have you ever played Dark Souls and you did the ready command with your sword for the parry stance stab? That's what she's doing.
I have in fact
She
not played
put up
Dark
a
Souls.
sword with
I
her
have not either.
hands.
I have in fact not played Dark Souls.
Zweihander is very heavy, ladies and gentlemen. She's got very powerful upper body strength.
Okay, so you got the head here,
Yes,
you got
that is
the
right.
head here.
Wait, Han, is the sword downstairs a Zweihander?
It's a great falchion.
And it's a fucking Kriegsmasse one. Absolutely.
Actually, it's a
like this
Swiss
stance.
saber.
Fuck you. So this is kind of the stance she's in. She is facing that way. So it's the sword is at her side, primed. You can see, like, even through the lance-net gear, like every single muscle is tensed. Whatever gets in front of her is gonna have a really fucking nasty time because it'll essentially get baseball swung into the nearest wall in 2 pieces. As you home, if you can think of another nickname for Mrs. DeSampson, please do tell. In case that will be her turn, she will maintain the remainder of movement She will maintain spacing with Neri, her bodyguard.
All my brain thought of is Miss Cleave.
His turn. Carl, you have the field.
The clone will take the same stance and move up the field. The ghost lights will fly, one overhead, one to the side, one to the other side. And then
In the stance, her damage value changes to 2d8.
2d8. Does it still remain 3 times crit?
Yes.
I'm just going to call that power stance.
Yeah, pretty much.
And is it a free action to shift stances, or is it a swift?
It is a. I want to say it's actually a move equivalent.
Move
Oh, so
equivalent?
She has a feat that reduces it to a swift. These are Drexel School stances, which are different from the usual ones.
Okay.
You have to take a whole 5-level prestige class for these ones.
Jesus.
Using her body, everyone just assume that when my icon is behind hers, her actual icon is my actual position. Using her eyes and using the eyes of the party, staring directly ahead, will make them roll perception checks.
Yeah, we did.
Smoking the golden boys and girls.
Oh, another one. Okay.
Yes. I'm using your eyes to effectively give us a
Jesus.
surveillance ahead.
Okay. Neri
Remember when
just
the
made us-
Yes?
Neri has just spotted something that no one else in the city has managed yet, because of the smoke cover.
Hmm.
You have a rare example because you're in an area where the smoke is not as thick. You have, in the very first map, spotted one of the causes of all the damage.
Damn, it's a dragon.
Worse.
Oh no.
Uh,
Oh no. Oh,
Oh boy.
also, just in from Captain, $20. Atero Dominatos, the hammer arise.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I
no.
see. I was expecting that to be something later down the line. Let me prep a. Yeah.
Oh no.
Let me quickly put up the character sheet for this little NPC that you're now dealing with. Ladies and gentlemen, the Goblin Fireworks Balloon.
The Oblin
How?
Air Raid Squad.
It
Do you
is.
know how high up they are in the sky, just as a general thing?
They are in the clouds. The very illusory clouds that Nero just disbelieved automatically.
I see.
Because she just saw them accidentally clip through them.
They no clip through the cloud and to give away their cover.
Z fighting has occurred.
Oh, well.
See, I told you this music would be appropriate.
And dotted around the city there is more than one. There appears to be a clutch of... appears to be... If you roll me an engineering, siege engineering would be excellent, so...
Monkey.
Maybe
Please
Baz
no
can
one,
help.
please no one, please no one.
Was Baz's roll not working?
Why am I rolling higher than you, Baz?
Luck of the dice.
Look at the dice.
To be fair, no one's rolling great on the operation siege engineer. If you have any other engineering-based skills or anything relating to even knowledge local,
Could I use
spell.
alchemy to see if it's a specific fire potion or something like that?
oh, you may. Any knowledge you think would be appropriate, you just roll it. Right now, this is an open season knowledge check.
These units in the of the Cumbeast Ghost Lights, are these dead bodies?
Yes, it is a number of dead goblins, one dead warg, and one bleeding out on the cusp of death guard that has been just shank rushed by about 4 goblins.
Okay. In concerns with Miss Cleave's attack style, does her ramp up to swing cost turns of repair?
No, but she does more damage if she counteracts a charge.
And the charge takes 1 turn.
She can charge. She's essentially she doesn't have any particular action economy effects. She just swings really hard.
And the charge consists of doing what exactly?
If she is set against the charge, she does double damage on the swing.
And what does the charge cost?
Nothing. Just and that's just for countering a charge. It's a braced weapon, like a polearm. Whereas if she charges someone else, she gets bonuses on the cleave.
Okay.
The action economy as normal.
So it's a normal movement to move towards someone?
Yeah, normal movement.
Oh, what I wouldn't do for haste right now. So, that's the move action, and that's perception for free. Action. Ectoplasm on the ground to give herself slidey shoes for the copy that I'm controlling.
Okie dokie.
And what else? That's it.
We've got that Space Station 13 Space Loop tech. Any directions go?
Well, actually, the prepared action of True Strike to Miss Cleave's real body, and then a normal action use of True Strike on my weapon.
Okay, just keep in mind, True Strike only lasts a round.
Ah, shit. You're right.
It's not expended like it. 5e is a bit of a different beast, but yeah, Pathfinder's a bit less forgiving, unfortunately.
Never mind then.
Okay.
Where is unerring? Where's unerring? How high up are the goblin air raid squads?
They are in the upper clouds, so they are very high up. They are beyond the reach of anything short of a mortar.
So, Bill, how's the wind in the area?
Vicious, so it's bewildering that they're not being thrown around.
And only Neri is aware of them, or has she brought it to everyone else's attention?
Yeah, I'll let everybody know.
Oh, Baz, with that knowledge geography roll, you know what these are. These balloons are the bombard balloons intended to safeguard the settlements in the surrounding areas from airborne magical beasts, like manticores, dragons, and such.
Right.
They appear to have been hijacked, and all of their usual weather measuring equipment replaced with munitions. In this case, bundles upon bundles of high-grade commercial fireworks.
Oh no.
As a result, they appear to be double-tapping buildings around the city. One concussive firework knocking the shingles off of the roofs, and one more, shall we say, phosphorus-heavy one burning the building inside out.
So, do I know if they have any specific defenses against weather effects, whether mundane or magical?
They seem remarkably stable. So you suspect that someone may have been messing with them. They do have actual cloud cover for the upper parts of the balloon. So if they drop lower, you should be able to check if they've got some kind of modification, which would explain their stability.
Right.
Okay.
If they were that high up normally, it'd be like a cat in a tumble dryer.
A cat in a... Never mind. I will prepare a cast of unerring strike and end my turn.
Okay. Eris, yield is yours.
Yes. I was hoping to maybe use some of the Chimera Soul Discipline, but as of right now, I cannot seem to find the PDF as I don't have it on my PC yet. Pain. But besides that, I have one ready to action. Will that one stick around even after this round?
Yeah, you're not really in combat proper, so I'll assume that any action is...
Yes, it's basically a ready to action that if any enemy is within 20 feet, that I will change shape.
Okay.
Okay, let me have a look on my sheet, just have a quick thing. Could it be assumed that I've been able to do a chemical crafting in the 1 week previous?
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. That means I have cherry bombs. Way.
As a bonus, that they will actually be. I will say this: anyone who wants to be going loud on this one, there is so much noise of crackling of flames, of fireworks going off, of pieces of roof being thrown around, of the scattering of asbestos tiles across certain parts of the richer parts of town. You could quite happily fire a cannon in these streets and not be heard more than a street away.
I see.
So cherry bombs are fine. They're basically a stealth weapon at this point. It's the bug from MGS5 where you put the silencer on the grenade.
Yeah.
Also, Penny, keep in mind that you have the telekinesis, so you can throw it at very weird angles.
Yes, I was also thinking to maybe use something like cloth to like just use my telekinesis as a catapult.
Yeah.
Makeshift, but it's something.
It'd be a standard what you can pull off with telekinesis.
So from what we know, it mentioned there's stuff in the sky. What's more
looks like there's
concerning
a
is what's
goblin
happening
balloon
right
that
there.
seems to be dropping bombs.
Let's see, how far can I get if I run? Isn't it double?
That's your move.
Isn't it double the move?
If you run, you can do up to 4 times.
Oh damn.
Yeah, however, you can't make turns.
Would a readied action go off though if it meets the requirements?
You wouldn't be able to run and have very action.
Is there something happening to my sound?
Nope.
Shouldn't be.
Okay.
That I noticed.
Alright. I thought things were happening and I didn't know.
Right, Captain, don't worry. Your wish we're going for at the end of the round.
Oh no.
Well, I'll just run over here for the moment then.
Okay.
If possible, Albert should stay back a bit. Probably
Okay,
around
well,
here where the witch lights are.
I'm going to assume that until combat's met, you're going to keep him on your person in like a pouch or something.
Yeah, might be better. Okay.
The dog Black Hole will stick its head out of her dress. And
Actually,
look around.
Earl says he will jump out momentarily when you pass the unconscious man, and he will lick the unconscious man on the face where the worst wound is and seal the wound shut. Though, honestly, your character is so short in non-beast form, he can do that without exiting your person. So,
I just run by and
he
he just has his tongue out and just licks. It's just like a snail trail of just slobber all over the dude. Where I run past.
It's like a Dark Souls boss dragging a greatsword.
That should be, I believe. Although actually, I would like to speak. Need any help? Dumb question, but.
Is this the chap who's to your immediate upper right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this, okay. I think we might need more than that. And he'll knock another arrow to plink back into the horde that's advancing down the corridor.
Eris will point towards the back. We've got some friends from the guild meeting place coming.
Thank goodness. We're really in the shit here, lass, if you pardon my Galtic.
May I use Iris to speak to him?
He's a bit far
Iris or Eris?
We're not. I'm not talking about Miss Cleave, the sword thought. Iris. Eris.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Eris or Iris. That's the problem.
Your character.
Yes.
Remember, still possessing and still can speak through you.
I can still decide to roll a will save to not let you. Keep that in mind too.
This is an active combat zone. Do you think that Elutum is going to let Almon talk?
No, I'm just letting you know that it's not just I can
important
when
to
I
set
want to.
boundaries. It's like pour myself in a Jägermeister.
Yeah.
Is it bad taste to make Jaeger bombs during this? I think it probably
No.
is. Fuck you guys.
Should always make
I
an
want
Irish car bomb.
Glühwein. Haha. Hot spice wine.
Actually, I think we do have the ingredients for a car bomb.
No,
Okay,
we don't
I'll,
have we don't have Guinness. It's Guinness and whiskey. I
No,
don't have
I'm
any
talking
Guinness in the
about
house.
the-
I
the
fucking can't
shot.
stand port. I can't
There's
stand
many
porters.
things being shot at right now, yeah?
I'm already drinking
Yeah.
occasion
Like
firebomb.
Oh, we don't have Guinness, but you could use that Carling.
More importantly, Eris, do you consent to have your body spoken to so I can communicate important information to the guard?
It has to be 6 words or less. That is what you can say outside of your turn.
And this guy's not a guard. He is literally a guy who's come here to sell a pheasant he shot with a bow.
Okay.
He's got a David Crockett.
That is painful, but I'll make do with it. Eyes over Eris's face. Blake Brooke Cyan staring at him. Enough that he should be intimidated by this. Deep voice. Where are the goblins coming from?
We don't know. It's like pouring out of everywhere.
Okay.
You're on the rooftops. Keep your head down. Keep under the awnings. You'll kind of... If you want some free movement, you can reposition you under the awning so that you have cover from the massive contingent of goblin archers.
If I don't get hit, it's cool.
How high up are the roofs?
They vary, but they average about 30 feet up.
30 feet in the air?
Yep. Some are as low as 20, but mostly they're 30. This one here is several stories tall, so it's 50 feet up.
50 feet.
Would we be able to see the goblins from the angle of where
You
we
can
are?
see the
At least where the main
palisade,
party
you
is?
can't see the goblins.
Hmm.
It's a very shoddily built wooden palisade, but it does do the job. And it is remarkably spiked. It's essentially just a bunch of wooden spikes that have had just wattle and daub and wooden panels like just bolted on. If you try to charge at them, it would actually be quite nasty to try and deal with. Because if you got pressed into this or smashed into it, it would impale you.
So, with my general siege engineer bonus, would I be able to deduce that that is in fact a firing position?
Yes.
All right.
Do you communicate with the party?
Yes.
These are remarkably well organized goblins. They have you can, with the added advantage of all the different characters in the area, full squad of 8 archers with a supporting mage and a sergeant. The sergeant appears to be a larger breed of goblin, medium-sized.
Can we name this goblin Rakinishu?
You'll have to teach them to pronounce that first. It may take some time. They can't read. As Aiden opens the upstairs window and jettisons all the in-house.
The distant sound of apologia.
Exactly how much sight do they have from the palisade?
They have full sight. They can see you very effectively. Essentially, you're facing down like a Monty Python skit.
Bill,
Holy Grail specifically.
remember that I can move 30 feet in the air.
Very true, but arrows are faster than you.
Do they have ghost touch?
You don't know, but they do have a supporting mage. Also, do keep in mind you're not fully intangible as you're not a full bore ghost. You have a mischance. It's going to be advantageous. Don't get me wrong. And your AC through the roof because I believe you get charisma AC. But at least, well, maybe it's not at this level, but you do have a substantial AC. But it's only a mischance. If that's not with you, it can be risky. Admittedly, you won't have to deal with the aftermath of having to extract an arrowhead like the rest of these idiots will. Maybe you're like septic shock.
Whee!
The important part here is that I just need to have line of sight to be able to cast to disrupt them.
Yeah, if you can. Once you got to the 50-foot height, you should be able to draw a beam on them correctly. Lower than that, though, they've got a severe sight advantage.
Would you be able to see any goblins on rooftops that are outside of the map? This is not necessarily relevant for the combat going on right now, but just for more general effects.
Goblins are very stealthy, so after a certain point of drop-off, it's difficult. But ones in the barrage balloons or ones who are actively using flame weapons, yes. And some are noticeably lobbing Molotovs around. One poor unfortunate just been strapped with like 3 Molotovs and is just running into buildings. There he goes. Eris, any other action for your turn?
Do I have any other actions?
You need a full move, so I think you got Swift. That's about it.
Let me check if there's anything under Swift. Besides, maybe getting the spear out?
Yeah, you can get a spell and move.
Oh, okay, then I have the spear out. I'll drop it on the map in a moment. Also, I will let the dude know. Don't be spooked, it will float.
Wouldn't be the weirdest thing I'd seen today.
Fair point.
He's still got a dead pheasant on a pole over his shoulder as he's knocking arrows with 2 loose fingers and like sending them down range.
I choose to leave my game face active on Eris's face.
Neri, the field is yours.
Okie
You have a bodyguard in form of a Little Miss Cleave.
And from rage, we all get a +2 to strength and con, right?
Yes. All people who are not actively casting. If you're casting, you will probably want to not rage, as that prevents you using a kind of dex or charisma based skills of intimidate.
So is it what's the there is a negative, I don't recall off the top of my head, is it negative wisdom or?
No, you're thinking of musicians. In this case, no. There's no penalty. You get +1 to will saves, you get +2 to strength and con, but you're limited in what you can basically just attack.
Okay.
Unless you choose not to take the bonus.
In that case, I'll choose not to take the bonus.
You can do other things on the attack, but you can't use like certain skills.
Yeah.
You can't.
I'm going to assume that I readied my Shell Striker gauntlets, or
Yep.
as we entered in. So
Lobster Rage Fists on.
Lobster Rage Fists.
Always roll for fire damage.
Yes. And let's see, how far are we?
I shall post in general the Chimera Soul
Move that
playtest.
far.
Say general.
Oh,
power,
Bill,
so-
a very important question.
20.
Does the slime form need to breathe?
The slime does not. It is news.
It does not, Bill.
No.
Uh-oh.
I wouldn't do that in the middle of combat. That just seems rude.
Yeah.
It's got a
no.
finite duration, like 10 minutes per level.
I'm not gonna be able to get close enough to fucking hit anything, so let's see.
I'll make an opening.
We're looking at it again. I get confused
Don't
by
worry
the
about
combis. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 goblins, and then this. Who's in the center? What does that appear to be? Like a leader?
The one
Or is
here?
it representing
No,
the...
that's
or is it
a
representing-
unconscious man.
Oh, okay. Where? Oh, okay. And where... Bounce. Sorry. Okay, all the goblins are
Yes,
down there.
It's just that
And
the guard in
whereabouts-
question happens to be a
okay.
half-orc who got jumped by 4 goblins.
Well, I thought it was a goblin, and I got confused.
No, that's just the guard who happens to be a half-orc. You're racist.
How far is the...
Over 150 feet.
How... No, I'm wondering how far away can I use telekinesis?
10 feet.
Keep in mind, you're not in combat yet. So you're
No,
gonna
I
need
know.
to move.
How high up is the balloon, would you say?
Soft initiative then.
We're in something.
Sky level.
Okay.
Right.
It's not close enough to be able to
It's
do
in the
anything.
upper clouds.
Okay, okay. So I know it's...
You literally saw it.
It's
It's like a cirrus cloud.
Okey-doke. Alright, I'm gonna run then, which was 4, so... Okay.
I'll put it this way: if it weren't for the fact the fireworks are heading directly downwards, they wouldn't actually reach up to them.
Okay.
They are abusing this to high heaven.
I'm just gonna run up then and to be near Eris then, and just kind of.
Okay.
Which I think I can.
You'll want to be undercover. You'll be hit by the palisade.
Oh right, okay.
If you
Sick.
want,
Just-
the hunter here can actually move you over to cover.
Okay. Then I'll move into cover.
Okay. Go here.
Where? Okay. All right.
He has like a remarkable, like, he's loosing arrows, and as he looses the hand back, like grabs you by the lapel and like swings you into cover. So,
Okay. And I think that's all I'm gonna do then. Is just because I can't. I have to hand to hand, so there's not much I can do from far away.
you notice that as you get within like rage-inducing distance, the archer, the hunter that's beside you, isn't like he's visibly like starting to like clench his teeth, and you can see the veins start to go like he's raging out, but he's still shooting his bow. And he's like he's using like he went from quite a stiff draw to very smooth. Like you think he might actually be a strength archer build.
Well, hell yeah. At least I'm helping. I think that's all I'm gonna do then. Just try to get close to scan the gap.
Baz.
All right. Let's see. So, quick question about the weather effects, because I posted the table in there just for clarity's sake, because it's kind of confusing to begin with. So I managed to get the precipitation level to heavy, so severity level 5.
Yep.
I believe you mentioned that the fireworks, the only reason it's able to actually detonate is because they're dropping it straight down. Is that correct?
Not straight down, but they're firing it with gravity's aid, so it is. They would not reach up to that height naturally. They are over 900 feet up.
Right. Furthermore, the balloons. Would I know if they have any metal components?
Usually
Roll me a siege engineering check.
All right.
A lot of times balloons have those like metal rigs that like keep, because it's usually multiple balloons, but I kind of can't tell from the image to keep them all together.
Assuming these are normal hot air balloons, have a rig, they have a normal fuselage meter.
Oh yeah, the fuselage. There you go. That's made of metal.
25.
These ones are primarily wicker and cord, as they are designed to not be hit. But they do have an earthing line though. And with your knowledge of the designs of these kinds of balloons, that's what they're using to reload. They are using the earthing line, which is meant to prevent the build-up of static electricity amongst the
Basically
balloons.
creating a bit of a fire hazard.
It's more the fact that they're essentially they are running ammunition up to themselves to reload from that line. It is trailing across the ground somewhere in this district.
So they're using the hot air balloons as a strike match to drop munitions.
Yes, they're just using the line that's usually normally used to discharge the static electricity to just run ammunition up. Which seems remarkably dangerous to you, because one loose spark from that and the entire munitions box would just go off.
Glad you mentioned that, actually. So, I would like to use a standard action for weather control.
Okay.
And I would like to... What's the current wind level right now? Just looking at like the weather conditions, so I have a frame of reference.
Okay. It appears to be... Let's see... It is at rating 3, strong. However, it's been made to look like rating 5, storm.
Very good.
The winds aren't as strong as they seem to be. They are howling like it's an actual bad storm, but the trees aren't moving right for it.
So, in that case, I will use weather control to actually increase the wind level to level 5 windstorm, which will begin to produce lightning effects within a long-range radius.
Okay. I believe I need to start rolling reflex saves now, don't I?
Yes. Also, the damage of the lightning, let me check, is 68.
They somehow maintain morale. They needed it at that point and they actually got it. Grief.
And normally it only happens once a minute. Considering they are in the clouds themselves, apply it as you see fit. And I'll have it automatically maintain for the next few hours.
Each turn they will be required to roll a reflex. What is the DC in this case?
The DC... Okay, so the caster level plus... Oh god, DC 23.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Okay, even with that high save, they might not... Okay, they scrape by. But, oh... There is only... Like, they squeaked past.
This is what we call a rough day for everyone involved.
Let me change the audio slightly, because I do actually have a thing for...
Air raid silence.
No, those are only used for real emergencies, and this is considered like a... It's only a singular arson attack on the city. It's not bad in these bears times.
I was joking, Bill.
They happen though.
Oh, to be precise, the radius of this would be 880 feet.
More importantly, you should be concerned that you told me that the clone does not have to move.
By the way, small side question. How much does one of the little goblins weigh?
Not a great deal. A couple pounds. They vary. Like the Greenfoot goblins is like only a couple kilos.
So not like 130 pounds.
Nowhere near. There's not a single. I think there's one goblin in the bunch who's not a full-blooded orc who can boast a weight above 100 pounds.
Okay, so you say I can use my telekinesis to shove one of them into my reach and crunch on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where the hell is that like that? Okay,
By the way, Bill, because of the wind level, regular ranged attacks have become impossible, and siege weapons get a -4.
Good grief.
Yeah, so I'll be using my bow and arrow.
Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, I found the lightning sound effect. You see at least one goblin jump out of one of the other balloons and take his chances with the ground.
He will be blown away by the wind.
Yes.
As, let's see. Creatures of medium size or smaller are... Oh god.
Medium or smaller.
Are
everyone in the city.
are unable to move forward against the force of the wind unless they succeed on a DC 10 strength check if on the ground, Will DC 20 flying check if airborne. I didn't entirely read through this because it's quite extensive. Also, tiny-sized creatures on the ground are knocked prone and roll 1d4 times 10 meters. Taking
What size gets knocked
Small.
around? Oh dear.
Taking 1d4 time. They are rolled 1d4 times 10 feet, taking 1d4 points of non-lethal damage per 10 feet, unless they succeed at a DC 15 strength check.
The lower parts of this map are about to turn into a tumble dry.
It's
Now,
like a
admittedly,
wind
they do get
hose of just
bonuses versus
fucking
this shit
goblins.
because these are enclosed streets designed to withstand high storms. But the ones on the rooftops are going to have to start rolling cohesion checks.
Also, if there are any flying creatures, they are instead blown back 2d6 times 10 feet and take 2d6 points of damage
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
per 10 feet.
Oh dear.
I was
Okay,
thinking on
out of
going
the
on
4
the
balloons
roofs.
you can
Wow.
see, one maintains its height, and there are 3 others which are hydrogen balloons, rapidly losing altitude.
As you might have immediately just caused a Heisenberg.
This is what we call a pro gamer move.
Now, admittedly, as long as there's no sparks or fires,
If there's
shouldn't
no
be too
fires
bad.
on the ground which they're hurling
I hope the rain
towards,
helps at least somewhat.
yes, it will significantly. Like some of the fires starting to peter out a bit, but the one that's in this map, thankfully, has maintained it. But oh, it's rough. Also, the Hippogriff Regiment that just arrived in the city are having a hell of a time.
There's also a possibility that Baz may have ruined what I was going to do next, but we're gonna find out when I start rolling it. Anybody
So
who's been paying attention to what I've been doing with the bag of holding knows what's about to happen next.
Oh, Bill.
Yes.
I just looked at it, and it's apparently due to the windstorm. Windstorms automatically extinguish unprotected flames and have a 75% chance of blowing out protected flames, such as those of lanterns.
How do they affect Gorbs?
No.
Okay,
Gorb
so the
just
fires in the
burns
district get
faster.
blown out.
It makes it even bigger, and it does like a whole Temple of Doom thing.
Okay, so now the bottom of the screen has gone from being a tumble dryer to being a tumble dryer with a brick in it. The issue is that one of the wishes that was going on right now was under the gorb was a pressure-sensitive landmine.
Oh no.
As well, let's roll these good boys. Oh no! Oh, okay, that's fine. The spear lad is blown free of the area and knocked over a cow. The swordsman, who was the guard sergeant, however, it eats the blast to the face
Oh boy.
and is blasted into a doorway. The gorb is currently bouncing around like downtown like a bullet.
didn't Mark attach the sickle to it?
I gave the sickle to Twitch Ski.
Ah, okay.
I like to think that out there somewhere Twitchski's dueling like a goblin who has an ice pick. Has to be. So, Beth, any other actions for the day?
Yeah, I'll move forward.
We did it, Patrick. We saved the city.
Save the city!
Thankfully, the you move up to. You should do secure the half.
Bill, I forgot I had to do something.
Yes. Did you take wild magic by any chance?
Go for, low. Okay.
Oh no!
No, it's a 10% chance, mind you. I didn't... Oh, okay.
Okay, because when you say low, I assume low is good. And
Low
high
is good.
bad.
So, actually, fuck.
That means that you proc wild magic as well.
Yeah,
Is it the weather sphere, right?
it's the weather sphere one.
That's a bad one too. That's a real
Yes.
bad one. That's the one that can like yeet city block. Like this is why you need to be really careful with the six. It's really yee. It can kill a lot of people, and especially in a built-up residential area. Why is it that every time I have a campaign, boiling rain falls within close range? Dealing 1 fire damage per cast level to all creatures and unattended objects.
No. We're gonna get sweet cooked cows and.
There are
humans.
children in this district.
Oh.
Joy today.
No.
Well, I really shouldn't have named this episode after a verse from Napalm Sticks to Kids. It was really
Yeah.
pushing my, like, in hindsight.
I'll
being
quickly
very
send you
brave.
something in DMs. It's a little bit important.
Oh no! Hey, don't, please tell me you didn't take that thing where it can proc multiple times. Did you take the thing that makes wild magic proc multiple times?
No, I didn't.
What do I think is about to be worse?
Oh Lord.
You know, like.
Man, I don't even know what's going on. Oh. Captain
That's
with
doing
$2 saying snitch is pleased.
Snitches,
Yes.
please.
Also, just a quick question, because I'm a bit confused by the Chimera Soul discipline.
Yeah.
How many maneuvers do I get?
I believe at this level, level 3. We'll check.
Because it often says, oh, the prerequisite is having one of those Chimera Soul maneuvers, and I'm just like,
You'd only have to up to level 2. maneuvers.
yes.
Okay, and I'll just put you on the Mystic track because it's the closest. Okay, let's just go with the Sparking variant. So you get your int modifier per level in maneuvers, which I think is all of Chimera Soul in your case.
Yeah, I have an int modifier of +5.
Yeah, you just have all of Chimera Soul up to level 2.
Okay.
Can only prep like a certain number there,
Yeah.
but
Time to write each of them down.
I'm not going to ask how.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah,
I'm guessing it's like a fixed effect.
it's a fixed effect.
As it starts raining super napalm. On the plus side, the troll who's about to arrive next turn is having a horrible time.
Well, best to kill and maim because the kills all count the same.
And they all Urukai when the rain explodes.
Fucking Baz of Bosnia, Jesus Christ.
So great.
Oh, Greg's.
Oh, we can never escape any other action. Oh my god,
I'll
that
just-
is so much damage, holy shit. It's so good job all the squishy people are under awnings.
Yeah.
So this damages this can damage buildings!
Fortunately, hardness is doubled against energy.
Good!
Yes. Yeah.
It still has a good chance of damaging some of them.
Yeah. Let me.
I had to roll that one, but no, fuck you, I'm sticking with it. You're dealing with that.
I know.
Good luck explaining this to the Hippogriff Regiment now that they're all on fire.
The thing is, I didn't even use Wild Surge. That's just the base wild magic.
It's Lamarck's turn. Jesus Christ. He's gonna quietly step under this pavilion. And, he's gonna go up to... here, drink this. And, he'll, like, proffer you up to the brink of a glass, so you can drink as a free action.
Okay, I never turn down a free drink.
Our drinking was interrupted, after all.
Have an extra 30 foot of movement. Basically, your movement speed is now 60.
Oh, by the way, Bill, reflex save does negate the damage fully.
Tell that to the buildings.
Yeah.
Okay, at this point...
You know the floating dudes who are in the fireworks and stuff? They still in the same position, or are they floating like no?
Most of them are losing altitude. The one here is maintaining their altitude. They are still up there, but they still have. But now you can see the cable that's kind of whipping around in the area.
Yeah, you know, like I wanna run on the roofs and try and cut like the gasket from the balloon or whatever.
Do you need to delay your turn before you do that?
Well, we're still on Lamarck's turn. This is just you're getting a free buff.
Oh, I thought you said Mark's turn.
No, just asking if you want to take the buff or not. So, yeah, I've got too many characters. Then I've got too many NPCs with names similar to your guys'. I have to do a call of that. Okay, before we go on to the next top of turn, a wish goes off. As you see something punch a hole through the clouds. As something lands amongst the horde. Okay, let's see. Radius 5. Oh my god, everything in here is fucking dead. As something crashes in amongst the horde. Let me just bring out the fire.
Actually, that is a good question, Mechanics is on duty. How is the rain effect doing on the gourd? Is the gourd melting?
It is... No, it's not. The gorb is essentially just
I
a
think
massive
it's made of
sphere
stronger
of
stuff.
volcanic glass.
Yeah.
It's very hard to actually damage. Yeah, there is a shining, burning ball of flame in amongst the now somewhat hindered, horde.
Has the Palisade been unaffected by the conditions of rain?
Oh, most of the goblins are in the process of burning to death.
Good.
Their commanding officers are sliding down the back, and they're trying to get to cover as fast as they can.
Good.
Bill, I found an image that really just summarizes the current circumstances perfectly. I'll see if I can post it in the in chat as well.
Okay, as this happens, the Goblin Commando squad are going to surge forward. And engage with the guards, who are also, all of whom are trying to keep underneath the various overhanging roofs as to not burn to death. We have already permanently fucked up formation of every single NPC. The troll that was just about to wade in at this east side is now having to take cover under a fucking awning like a tourist outside a French pub.
Lovely today, lads.
I think the only person who can be mildly unaffected by this is me.
I just realised the sky is full of lightning and hydrogen balloons which are made of cloth.
Yes.
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 You hear a series of squeaky pops, followed by loud bangs, followed by a number of baskets elsewhere in the city careening down in flaming wreckage, followed by the ignition of several thousand gold pieces worth of fireworks.
Do any of them have substantial damage in the area of the district?
It's
We'll
hard to
find
tell from
out.
your angle currently. The one is okay. That maintains its. At least this one maintains enough structural integrity, because you actually have to roll an integrity check, which is always a fun one to roll. I roll them with very worrying frequency in this campaign.
God, we're already being asked what's the rebuilding effort gonna be.
It's gonna be a lot. I don't want to pay for it.
The kind of damage that the catacombs needed a
I know,
god
I'm
to
just thinking
do,
about the
you are succeeding with a single spell.
Thank you, Han.
Combination.
Very cool. Oh, also, how many maneuvers can I have prepared?
I believe it's 4. Let me double check. It's 5.
Very cool.
Unfortunately, this makes my prepared web very fucking useless.
Mark, something is calling to you from the burning light at the end of the avenue. And it's not the cows that have now been displaced underneath the awnings, who are in the process of eating the bundles of muskmelons from the local farmers market.
I know you said I can get much further now.
It will be your turn.
That far.
Charlie's all I thought was just going to maintain with Mary and okay. Let me just quickly roll a few checks to see how the fighting is going. Fucking terribly. No one can hit the broadside of a barn.
Cold War Mac is saying 4th of July has now been invented, lads.
The 4th of July, more like.
Han, your mic just did not let you do the noise.
There we go.
Fitch looking lovely today, lads. God.
Okay, and okay.
Right, no.
Comrade, I warn you now, if you're not undercover, when your turn ends, you'll be taking 12 points of fire damage. You've
Crispy.
turned this entire area into like the most vicious case of rain dodging I've seen. I hope you're pleased with yourself. Dice really don't like
You
you.
just hear Han laughing.
Mark, the field is yours. You are now very fast.
Be advised, Mark, there is a troll down the street to the right. He is about to start flanking the soldiers if he ever gets close enough.
Also, I just got a question. What's the storm doing to all the mines and turtles?
True!
Oh!
So,
Oh
Bill,
no!
I need to make some rolls. Hang on. I'm just going to pour all my dice into a cup and roll them en masse.
Yay! Waterfall damage. This sucks. Baz, this is your fault.
To be fair, I couldn't have predicted this.
yeah, we could have predicted this.
You know, but besides the wild magic, you know, it would have been pretty useful.
The wind.
Now it's very useful, but a bit too useful.
Oh, 2s in there. Well, there are a series of very loud explosions.
Well,
How many allied casualties?
Well, the lucky thing is that most of the people were in homes. Because obviously if you are a non-combatant, you keep out the streets. You're only really in the streets if you have to. You keep out of the
What are
order.
those children doing outside then?
They were in the process of shopping at the market when the street got filled with goblins.
I see. Okay.
They were sent out to buy Mummy and Daddy a packet of carton smokes each, and got jumped by all of the fucking Uruk-hai. They all got... This city has been successfully jumped by fucking... I don't know. Cracks I want to make about the other streamers, not the same. Comrade, it is your turn. You have a 60-foot movement speed, and something is calling to you from within the light.
No, don't go into the light.
The gore.
Like, every fiber of my being tells me just run and dive into it. And it looks warm, like
Oh, trust me, it's very warm.
Man, this is gonna just be fucked afterwards.
Yeah.
Han, good
Who's
that you
gonna be the
picked up abilities to like put down paths and everything, I guess.
I mean, I can make effectively a ghostly oil slick, but unfortunately, I don't have anything to help with large spread fire damage from meteor rain.
Oh, I was thinking of rebuilding the like buildings.
Unfortunately, my character is not an ectoplasmic blacksmith. That is a build choice, but I did not take that choice.
No one's going to expect you to expect the party to actually... Honestly, the mages get to fix this pretty fast, to be honest. This place gets bodied pretty frequently.
I feel like they might have a warrant out for my arrest. But honestly, I like to see that as less of an arrest warrant and more of like a job opportunity, really.
What that is.
I don't fucking have it. I'm just talking to this guy. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Yeah.
It is a bit of a difficult one. Would you like some more drugs? What's all?
I think we're gonna be good friends, you know. Have you got any spinach?
Depends, is that a euphemism or not?
Like, Popeye magic, any?
He hands you a booth. Do you accept the booth from the sketchy alchemist? You can light the cigarette on the rain.
Don't forget to get in cover before your turn ends, by the way.
Like I say, hands you the booth. Do you accept? See?
Yes.
I'm gonna contract this mage to make a giant piece of drug, and I'm gonna name it Shia LaBeouf.
He's got that Amish doinks. That's how good it is.
So, I'm just gonna run maximum that I can, minus amount required to turn it into somewhere.
So, are you actually going to smoke the booth, Yanji?
Oh, of course. I didn't.
Hell yeah.
As soon as they pass your lips, the rain doesn't hurt anymore.
Oh, bro, I just strut down then like I'm a Terminator or something. Like, well, bits of my skin are melting off or whatever.
He gets the Cyberpunk 2077 music.
Welcome.
What? Oh shit.
You can move up to like triple your speed, so you can move up. You can get to like
I
the
could
light.
actually dive into it if I wanted to.
Yeah, you can easily get there.
Oh man, it is tempting.
The light come back in.
Just casually just doing a really quick meme of Black Adam as he runs into combat.
The world seems to slow down around you as you move. You're moving that quickly.
Oh, even better, he's doing Max Payne.
You feel like you're running between. It almost feels like you're running between the raindrops, but you're barely walking.
I'm just gonna like hang out underneath these cows, and I'll wave to the others like, "Hello, I'm over here."
And you can see it from where you are. Then.
Yeah.
As I can now reveal.
Hang on. Let me just check. No, it's not worth it. I was gonna see if I could throw my sickle like Captain America or something to knock someone out, but I don't really think there's anyone close enough. Maybe those people like in the, you know, the flying machine or whatever.
There's a general potential that your sickle might go off target and just fucking behead somebody.
You see,
That's fine.
That's fine.
you know what? That's the light.
We don't want to deal
Go
too
on.
much collateral damage, guys.
There's already been quite a lot done.
You see it.
You
know what's the
cannot
light?
stop me from beheading bourgeois people.
There is a hammer embedded in the stone of the ground in a crater where it fell from. And if, as you look up, there is literally a massive hole punched through the clouds. Rain is not falling where the light is.
Oh, alright.
Last thing we heard was raining.
There is a hammer that has embedded itself in the stone right here, and it is glowing.
Yeah, that'll be a good. But I'll just go and pick it up if I can still do that on my turn.
Certainly. Here you go. Enjoy yet another wish weapon, the Zula Coast.
We're starting to glitch.
Oh no, what?
I'm going to be real. I don't even get this.
Me neither.
I don't.
This is a high-level Soviet meme, and I don't sure I really get it.
Oh god, it's a fucking Zukov reference.
Oh, it is Zukov. Full I recognise.
I'm just gonna end like I don't know. Patience.
Looks cool though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Cannot deny that.
I can't drag it on the thing.
But we're gonna
Scrap.
bring so much peace with this hammer.
Whosoever wields this hammer, be he worthy, shall wield the entire power of the Soviet military regime.
Paste. I couldn't hear most of that because I had 5,000 milliseconds of my voice.
Might be good to quickly switch regions for the voice channel.
Yeah. Just
On
the last section here.
to Brazil.
By the way, Bill,
No.
Oh,
I realized I do actually have a trait that allows me to roll a 1d6 and either add or subtract it to the wild magic result. However,
They're all. See what's adjacent to the boiling rain. There's some fun ones and there's some way worse ones. So if you want to.
well, the devil you know. We'll leave it as is right now. At least we have a method of dealing with it, which is don't be out in the street.
Should we give it a like that? And you are now the proud owner of a warhammer, the Zulacost, empowered by the might of General Zukov himself. It is a +1. This is actually a magic weapon. It's a +1 burning warhammer. Proficiency, comrade.
Yeah, that's sweet. That is. Now I just need a magical sickle.
Stop as I say, stop baiting the chat. Wait, oh, wait, hang on, now I get that money. Bait the chat, bait the chat.
Yeah, we're totally gonna do a revolution on this island. Like, just need to find that capitalist pig. Remember, Sir Percy.
Well, I should probably spread out these goblins a bit more because they are being like thrown around. Furthermore, as you stand here, as you wield the Zula coast, your hand kind of hums and the gorb returns to it.
I knew you
was
was
gonna
going to
say
say that. I knew that was gonna...
These two can be wielded together without penalty. Without any penalty. Communist weapons work better together.
Yeah, I can... It's like
Oh my god, the hammer!
As a special effect, he should have a constant effect of hearing either the Soviet anthem play as he wields them, or a Soviet variation of the Super Smash Bros. Brawl theme. But in place of the fake Latin, it is just a Russian choir.
That's the one song that keeps going on faster, Malinka.
In the distance, you can hear the faint sound of someone saying, "General Paulus, I have no divisions."
It's either that or it's a constant playing theme of operatic Tetris.
But Commander Beria, I sell drugs to the community. That was bleak. That was real bleak.
I don't understand. I don't want to understand, I think.
The only one who is still standing before you is one singular goblin who is standing in the rain as his flesh runs from his body like melting candle wax. And in his grasp is a piece of paper, which is somehow withstanding the rain.
Read the paper mark.
Wait, is that one
Yeah.
a dog?
Done.
Sorry. Should be,
Yeah, I'll
wrong tribe, sorry.
snatch that paper. But you can't read.
That's the point. You know, well, you know for a fact, goblins are terrified of written word.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it would take a goblin who is certifiably grade A insane to handle a piece of paper with actual writing on.
Oh god.
Written on the piece of paper, and I feel that, with it being so close to midnight, is the perfect time to stop it. We'll find out next week what is on that piece of paper.
Why?
Damn it!
Oh no.
I've been cut out of a turn!
It just says, "Do you like me? Yes or no?"
The last
Can
entry
I
is
touch
yes.
your
plural.
gorb?
Can I touch your cord?
Wow.
Well, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the session this week. I hope to meet you all here again next week.
Yes.
Welcoming games with the team here in scenic My Lai village, Vietnam. That used to be the scenic island home of ours.
Hooray!
Is really earning its name.
Well, it's called the Doomstone. I guess when you live next to a place called that, you're really asking for trouble, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still not as bad as the time the Void Spawn started crawling out of the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to keep in mind. I can use that as an excuse.
You're gonna need to start
Just say
having
you thought it was
excuses, 'cause,
void spawn.
again, the Griffin Legion are on their way, and they are not happy about being set on fire.
Are they on our side?
Yes,
Well, that's a little awkward then.
they're part of the King's Guild, so they are knights. They set off the bougie fucking alarm at about 200 yards.
I'm not a fan of the King's Guild.
Well, if we
In that
end
case,
this
I'm doing
combat
Marker
with
real
Baz,
solid.
Monkey gang.
It's time to pull
See,
up.
this is how you force parties together, even though they are on disparate lines of politics. You end up with serendipitous scenarios where everyone is forced into the same criminal organization.
Let's go.
And this is where I pull up. Oh, sorry. I was about to say my final words.
Closing words for the folks at home.
This is where Carl pulls out the Dragon Ball Z voice. The town is being perilously overwhelmed by the magic wildfire. Will Carl get his turn? Will the Griffins beat the shit out of Baz when they arrive? How many goblins does it take to be able to rebuild this damage? Find out next time on Rolling in the Isles.
Yay! Kind of sounds like we're gonna enslave the goblins though. From
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Slavery!
In the
And on that note-
orcs in the open kicking hay, but I can hear them Stormcloud say, "There will be no Shuhoi today."
Leave harm sticks to orcs.
And with that, everybody, we'll see you next week.
Alabajon.
Bye-bye.
Before we go,
Oh,
hang
what?
on.
Oh, hang on.
Before we go, I just want to say, this week I made a video about a true crime like a comic book murderer or whatever, and the YouTube algorithm hates it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Go and watch that. It was really hard to write a funny video about a murderer in it. So
Yeah.
I think I pulled it off. I think it's. Oh my.
If you got the link, post it in the chat, and
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can do that.
yes.
that way, if you want to watch, give Mark's video that
You know what,
the
if
algorithm
anyone
does not
else-
like some love.
So if anyone has a video they'd like to feature in the description, just forward it through to
Mm-hmm.
Aiden. We'll put the links in the description.
Mhm.
And we'll have a featured video from each participant each week.
Yeah, if people want to do that. Sure.
Me just gonna
all I
post
got is
shit
my
posts because of that.
no,
necessarily
all I got
YouTube
is my
videos.
shorts.
Oh, they are in
I don't know why my brain didn't go to YouTube Shorts. I think it's because I'm looking at the AI generated.
Just my
art of Penny's
shorts.
character.
Here,
It's just
my
shorts.
pants. You're welcome.
Where are we
Here my
posting the
pants.
links?
just
Just post it in
put them in
player's
the player
chat,
chat.
and yeah, we'll post it in the. I'll put your shorts and Mark's video in the description. But on that note, for sure though, I think yeah, check out Mark's channel. His channel is linked in the description. So is yours, Carl. So go check out their channels. But I'll put links to these specific videos down below. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you. That sounded really.
Yeah, bye.